Are we live? Oh, I don't have any light in here. Okay. How's the light? Like, I kept my room really dark, and I'm just wondering how that's coming across to you guys. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Yes, technical issues are the best, aren't they? Oh, my webcam wasn't. They did some update, and I updated it earlier this morning, but then it wasn't working. It's still not like the controls aren't working to where I can like put it where I want it. It's supposed to be this fancy schmancy thing that I can just, get that stuff over there that you see. Well, normally I'd be able to get that out of the screen. Can't do that today. So you see my naughty little puppy over there, seeing what trouble he can get into. Yeah, we're talking about you. So, hey, hi, happy Monday, right? My goodness, time is flying. We are in fourth quarter. We are in fourth quarter. Can you believe it? Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to tell you who I am for those who have never been to one of my lives before. I am Danny Ackerman. I am the niche lady. And I am known for that because I teach eBay sellers to really zero in on what's going to sell for their niche of customers, as well as making your business fun while making it profitable. So that's important. I'm not an Amazon girl. I don't like the whole like commodity items and what's trending and like the BOGO list and all. Like, I don't do any of that. I have built a business that where people know they're going to come find cool, interesting, lots of glass and pottery kind of stuff. So, and I like to teach other people to do the same. Also, I am the president and founder of the Niche Foundation, which helps disadvantaged women learn to build their own eBay businesses so they can get out there and take on the world. Yeah. Ooh, I see a question over there. That's a good question. Here we go. That's actually a really good question, because sometimes I have trouble with motivation. Like, sometimes I just don't want to get out of bed in the morning, and knowing that I have like a big old honking to-do list. And I think that is the answer for me is every single morning. Not only do I make a to-do list, which kind of prioritizes the things that have to get done, and then the things I'd like to work on, and then the things that I need to work on soon are all on that list. And throughout the day, I can look at that list and I can triage like, oh, okay, here's where we are in the day. I was a little too optimistic about all the things I wanted to get done. What really needs to be done? And I can check off a list. And checking off a list for me is super motivating. And then the other thing that I do with that list is I have someone who I have been sharing my list with, and she shares her list with me every single morning for like the last, I want to say like 8 years. We have been doing that. And so if she sees something on my list that keeps getting put off and put off and put off, she'll ask me, hey, what's going on? And help me problem solve that and get that. That's it. It's the ta-da list. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Chat's flowing today. Yes. Where did that go now? I wanted to say that. Ah, there we go. The ta-da list. The ta-da list. Yes. We don't call it a to-do list. My bad. We call it a ta-da list because when you check those things off, you can do a little ta-da in your head, if nothing else, that you've accomplished something. And accomplishing something is super motivating. There's actually a very psychological effect to that. My coach and mentor right now keeps telling me to make a win list and keep updating it, even if it is the same wins every day. And by wins, I mean you made the bed, you got the dishes done, you shipped up, 12 packages. I think I have 14 to do today. And, and just keep the motivation going by noticing your own accomplishments. Okay, because we get into this groove of just working, 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 and we lose track of how much we actually get done. Now, when it comes to eBay, how do you stay motivated to sell on eBay? You know what motivates me to sell on eBay? Paying the rent. I mean, eBay is my income. If I don't sell stuff, I can't pay my bills. So that's really my motivation. Also knowing that if I don't list the stuff coming in, I can't justify going out and getting more stuff. And I'm at a point right now where I'm feeling a little guilty if I go out and find new stuff because I am backlogged about 2 weeks on stuff. Actually, I just found a little stash of stuff from like last month. My bad. And that's motivating me to really get caught up and get that stuff listed. I have a number in mind of about 100 new listings a week. And so I break that down. I need to do X amount per day. And, we strive for like 20 per day so that there's 2 days that kind of give me a break. But yeah, that's how I stay motivated, is seeing the money come in, seeing the sales. Because sometimes it's a drag. I'll confess. It's the day in, day out. I've been doing this for 22 years. So I can tell you, I have had to take some big breaks in betwixt and between all that. So you've gotten really down watching videos that talk about all the problems and nightmares with eBay. Is it really worth it anymore? You know what I'm going to tell you to that, Holly? And this is not in jest. This is not a funny comment. I'm going to tell you to stop watching those videos. Just stop watching them. You won't see me do very many of those videos. I have brought stuff out, such as, when the big scandal happened and the managed payments, but I don't like to focus on the problems. The problems, I can tell you, in the 22 years I've been doing this, the problems are few and far between. There are frustrations. There's definitely frustrations, sometimes on a daily basis, but you overcome that with the change in your attitude of the fact that this is your own business. And no other time in history have we been able to just create a business with virtually no money and go out there and potentially become millionaires if that's what we desire to do. If you only need to make $500 a month, you can easily do that. And I do say easily do that. This is a very, very doable business once you get over some of the speed bumps and you figure some of the things out. It's why I created the Niche to Profit Facebook group, because that's where you can go in if you have a problem printing a label. Where do I find this? How do I do this? Do I have this priced right? All of those little things, there's a support group for that. And there's seasoned sellers over there willing to jump in and help with all that. So there's really no reason to just go watch the problems. They're out there. But if you let your brain absorb all that negativity, you're going to lose track of all the positive. So I prefer to focus on what is good and what we can do to solve problems. See, there's just kind of being out there and what's the word I'm looking for without saying a bad word? And it's not even really complaining. It's dramatizing. You've got to remember too, YouTubers make money off of views. So the more dramatic the title, the more dramatic the news story, all of that is, the more views, the more money. And I just can't go down that road, so I don't have as many views on my channel. But yeah, it's the old adage of okay, so it's a dog fight story, and I get dog fighting is a bad thing all around, but it really explains it really well. So you've got two dogs, and these owners are going at it. One guy is not feeding his dog. The other guy is feeding his dog, and I'm probably going to totally script this story. And somebody else is like, which dog are you going to bet on? And he goes, oh, I'm going to bet on that one. He goes, why? Because that's the one being fed. So the dog that's being fed is the one that's going to win. I know I totally messed that up, but that's kind of the gist of it. You've got to feed your brain the positivity, not the negativity, not the negativity. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not dissing any other YouTuber or channel. I'm not doing that. I'm simply telling you, if you choose to go watch that stuff, you know, you can be informed, but don't let it affect your brain. Make sure you're balancing it with all the good stuff too. Like, I still love to go and study all of these very, very successful people who got told over and over and over again, you can't do that. You're crazy. That will never work. Yada, yada, yada. Walt Disney is one of my favorite. So, yeah. Yeah. Surround yourself with the positive. Yes. So, and that's what, you know, the Niche to Profit Facebook group is all about. What you feed grows and what you starve dies. Thank you. Thank you. That's actually, and it's studied. It's true. It's reality. Yeah. And I'm not always perfect at it. I can go down some rabbit holes of negativity at times. I'm guilty, but I do know that having the knowledge of knowing what I should do usually gets me back there. Can't pour from an empty cup. That is true. Okay, so I didn't change up my table from Friday's live sale. And, well, I mean, I pulled the sold stuff off. But I thought I'd leave this over here as like a teaser of what's coming on this Friday's sale. So Friday at 1 p.m., we're going to do it all over again. And I'm starting to throw in some things that are not just jewelry. So we're having some fun. We're doing giveaways at the end, doing some fun stuff. And for those of you who were there on Friday, thank you to everybody who paid your invoices. Yay! And I had one person who did not send me an email. So if anybody sees Trina Bao show up in the chat and I miss it, please ask Trina to send me an email at thenichelady@gmail.com. Okay. We are going to look at a couple of eBay stores today. I do ship daily. Yep, except on the weekends. I take Saturday and Sunday off. Even though I could ship on Saturdays, that's a little self-care of giving myself a break because it can get to be a drag. Yeah. All right. And I'm getting like some weird signals on my internet. So if for some reason my internet like blanks out, just rest assured I'll come back. I'll be here. So we ain't over until I say we're over. Okay, so our first store, oh, I did not set up my sharing screen yet. So here we go. And I am going to put this full screen here. We are looking at Vintage on J Street. Now I know she is at work today and cannot be here on the call. So, oh, let me blow up the screen too. And my phone is ringing. Let's turn down the sound on my phone. Why do I always get phone calls right when I'm starting the show? Okay. Blow up this little screen. Whoops. Wrong side. Hold on. I'll get this. Okay. Is that big enough, you guys? Can you see that good? Give me a yay or nay. Oh, good, good, good. Okay, she's here. Yay! Maybe I was thinking of somebody else told me they couldn't be here. I get confused. I do get confused. Stand by. One second. Okay. All right. Messing with some stuff here. So that's okay. Gotcha, Joyce, Miss Stargazer. I gotcha. I'm so glad you're here. So first off, I want to show you guys one of the things that happens when you actually have an eBay store is you can actually put a little logo. You can put a little branding on here. Yeah. So it's pleasant. It's pleasant to be able to share your link and click over to this. So she's vintage on J Street. Am I looking at the right? Just let me make sure, Joyce, that this is your eBay. Make sure I went to the right link, because I do get confused sometimes. Oh, good. Okay. I don't want to make mistakes and go and totally review somebody else's store and then, go, oh, that wasn't yours. Okay. You know what, guys? I am so sorry to do this. I just heard a crash outside and I need to go check that for a minute. If you could just talk amongst yourselves, I promise I will be right back. I just feel like I need to go check. Okay. Whew. Here, let me just come back for a minute. All is well. The dogs just knocked over a box of stuff that I'm donating. It sounded really bad, but all is well. Dogs are back in the house now, and this is what happens when I do the show with my kids not here. Okay, let's go back to this eBay store. So I have sorted by newly listed because there can be a difference between the things that you first listed, and you only have 58 items listed. So that's a good start. So Joyce, when did you start? How long has it taken you to get these listings up? Let's start with that question. Oh, sorry, no, wasn't it? No, it was like stuff falling in the backyard. And what I can just see just at a quick glance, let's look at like our first pictures here, and then we go up to the most recent. I'm starting to see you're getting more focused on the item. I think your lighting's getting a little better. Right off the bat, 3 months. Okay, excellent. And what I would say, oh, you got 47 results. Why did I see 58? I think I'm looking at too many things. So the first thing I would say about your pictures is, although your background is white, it's not pure white. And the way that the eBay search algorithm and the Google search algorithm, all of those Google image tools that I see everybody recommending so often to go find something, they really rely on the item being on a pure white background. So even that little bit of that pattern in your, I think that's a tablecloth you're using, is going to confuse the search engines that rely on the imaging. So I would find just a plain white. And I know plain white, it's a little on the boring side. We want to make it a little more frou-frou, but it really, really does make a difference. It really does. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. You've got good focal point of your items. This is really good. This is going to show up in your, when somebody does a search and the item shows up, that's really good. The only other thing that I did notice, It was on one of these. I noticed there's only 3 pictures on this particular listing, and it's good. They're big pictures. So for those of you doing the pictures, notice how this blows up. You want to make sure your pictures are blowing up, and that has to do with the size of your image that you're uploading. So at least 1,000 pixels is it on one side. The minimum is 500, but a 500 pixel image is not going to have any zoom quality to it. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. Now, the first thing I notice is that all 3 of these pictures are of the same side of the item. So you want to, and let me just come on here and say this. When you are taking your pictures, you are representing to a customer. I'm looking for something I can hold up and show you. Oh yeah, I got stuff all around me. Why can't I just pick something? So if I am at a retail store and I see this up on the shelf, I can walk up to it and I can do this, right? I can look all around it and inspect it. You have to virtually recreate that experience. So you have to take a picture of the front, of the side, of the back, of the side, of the top, of the bottom, and any details that somebody would want to see, want to see closer. I don't even know how I was saying that. But you want to create that retail experience of really being able to inspect the item. And yeah, so when I say the top, if it's got an inside, that means you have to shoot down into the inside. They want to know that it's clean. They're not going to trust that you are just telling them that it's clean. Also, this will protect you, not 100%, but it will protect you a lot against item not as described claims if you are completely showing the whole item. Also, bottoms are very, very important in glass and pottery, even when there's no mark or no signature or no anything. People who collect know what those bottoms are supposed to look like. So that can be super, super, super important. Just kind of looking over the chat here, make sure I'm not missing any questions. Also, I'm going to ask my moderators over there, my wrenches, if you see a question that has to do, directly with this, please say it in all caps for me so that I can catch it as I scroll back through here and not bore you guys with me scrolling back through the whole chat. I try to keep an eye on the chat, but it's a multitasking thing here. You just split my brain off to different sides here. Okay, so the other thing that I noticed on this particular listing, well, actually, there's 2 things I noticed on, besides from the pictures. So pictures, you guys, I'm always, if things aren't selling, this is what I say. You look at pictures, price, and perception. And by perception, that includes your title, description, all those things. Those are my 3 Ps: picture, price, and perception. Pictures are what cause somebody to actually click over on your listing. That's important to know. So if your pictures are not stellar, people may not click over, especially if there's competition that's like right in line with you. But if your pictures are better than the competition's, or at least the same, then people are going to go to the next thing. Oh, price, right? All right. So the next thing I noticed with this is you call it a 1940s Hazel Atlas pitcher, platinite glass, and you've got pitcher twice. Remember, don't repeat words in your title. Yellow Gay Rainbow 4317, which I'm guessing is like the name that Hazel Atlas gave it. But here's the problem. When people think pitcher, they think pitcher. And I did go and look in your description, and this is a creamer, or it's a syrup pitcher. But if you use, If you use pitcher without the word syrup, then people are going to be looking at a large pitcher, and that could be confusing. So I would actually, here. Oh, and I wasn't showing it to you again. Yes, I'm sorry. Real quick though, I'm going to pull something up here, and I never like to pull anything up live just in case. What was that? What was that? What was that called? Platinite. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's a good word. I like that word. Okay, now I'm going to share again. Okay. Yep, I'm back sharing. I'm back sharing. So I just did a search for Hazel Atlas Platinite, and I want to see what others are calling this item, first of all, but also see how much pitcher is used versus creamer. So let's go to, now see what I'm talking about, pictures. You tell me what's more eye appealing, right? Let me sort by highest as well. Although the best match does tell you what eBay's favoring. So this probably is a newer listing. When there's only 38, they don't do as much of the sorting by the picture stuff as they do price and newness of listing. So I'm going to go back to highest. Just kind of looking here. I'm looking, seeing what else is out there. This is a milk pitcher. See, that's a big pitcher. Milk pitcher, milk pitcher. So the milk pitcher looks like it's like 5.5 inches. So that's yours, and that's yours. Okay, so let's go look over and see what's selling. That's the next thing you want to do. Stay in highest first. So somebody had 4 of these that they sold for $48.95 with all 4 colors. Then we've got 2 of these for $19.99. Then we come down. Here's one 1940s Hazel Atlas Gay Rainbow Platinite Green Milk Glass Creamer Pitcher. Oh, see, they're calling it milk glass. Now, the thing about calling it a milk glass is that actually includes your milk pitcher in there. But they did say the term creamer too. Now, here's the other thing I noticed. It went for $16. And you've got yours priced at $15. With $10.29 shipping, they had $9.60 shipping, so that's pretty close. Yeah, okay, $14.99. So it looks like they sell from $10 to $15. Okay, so for this listing, what I would do, 1940s Hazel Atlas are the good first terms. I probably would move pitcher unless you add syrup pitcher. Although you want to know, since you've got the technical name and pattern, I would find out, what did Hazel Atlas call this? Can you use green background for Christmas items? I still wouldn't. I still wouldn't. Not on eBay. It's still not. Remember, you're making these pictures for a computer algorithm to pick it up, not on eye appeal of human. Unfortunately. Now, use your green, take a picture with a green background and use those on Instagram and social media and lead people to your listing if that's what you want to do. But for purposes of listing on eBay, yeah, I would just keep it white. Okay. Okay, you guys are all typing in capital now. I'm like, let's keep the capitals to things specifically with what I'm talking about on the screen, just so I can answer those in real time as we're going through this. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so I would change this title and call it whatever Hazel Atlas calls this. Now, I'm going to try to find out what Hazel Atlas calls this. And again, I will share my screen just a moment as soon as I figure this out and get to the proper. The reason I don't do a search live anymore is I have had some really bad things happen in a live search by putting in the wrong thing. Just saying. Okay, here we go. Da, da, da. Let me show the screen. So I go to replacements for identification. Replacements is not a good place to get pricing recommendation. They are a little on the high side. Yes. So, and they don't have, but it looks like they call it a creamer. Okay. They do call it a creamer. So the Hazel Atlas name is going to be creamer because replacements is pretty sharp on that. So I would go with 1940s Hazel Atlas creamer, platinite. You could say milk glass because somebody might think this is, the customer may think it's a colored milk glass. That could be exactly how they're searching. So I would say platinite milk glass. I don't think I'd use pitcher though. Pitcher just makes it seem like it's much bigger, and you don't want a lot of people clicking over that don't have the potential to buy. Okay. And then using the color and all of that is perfect. Now, if you're going to list something at $15, I say use $14.99. And I'm going to tell you there's a big psychological difference between $15 and $14.99, even though it's a penny. It's huge. Personally, I would probably list it at $19.99 with best offer. That's what I would do. I think they used rainbow because it comes in the colors of the rainbow. This particular piece came in the red, yellow, green, blue thing. I didn't see purple though. Purple's missing. It was a promotional milk pitcher for Kick cereal. Thump, thump, thump. Awesome. So by using the term milk glass, and then you can say pitcher, but use pitcher at the end. So in the search results, it doesn't say pitcher, that it says creamer. Perfect. Because I think most people would use it today as a creamer because you have two different customers to appeal to on this. You have the modern day customer who doesn't know anything about it having been a Kick cereal promotion. They just know it is a cute little thing that they want to use for syrup or cream or whatever. And then you have the collector, where all that other terminology is super important because the collector wants to know that you know what you have, and that adds confidence. So that's just something you can do on this listing. And again, also on the green one. I think your Dorothy Thorpes are priced well for what they are. And then your dishes, I didn't go in and check the pricing on the dishes, but I am going to show you something on one of your other listings. So I noticed you have a few things here, like $19.99 sounds way better than $20. And I didn't look up comps on this, but if there's any selling for over $20, bump up your price since you're offering best offer. And we're going to really, I want to dig into price. Like, we're going to dig into price. In fact, you have a listing. Actually, you have two listings here that I want to talk about price. So let's pull up your little biscuit canister. Now, see, great job on adding all the pictures. And so somebody, I still have the ability to put my full condition up in the condition area. Are you guys still being given that ability, or is my store an anomaly? Because this is concerning to me. Now, if the condition box was there and you just didn't put anything into it, I'm going to say put something into it. I put something in. If it's excellent condition, I say excellent condition. If it has some little something or other, I say good or great condition. I don't say excellent. I reserve for those that have absolutely nothing going on with them. If it's got a little something, I'll say good or great, and then I will spell out what that little thing is. So, okay, so if you have the ability, especially on these older items that people might be looking on their phone, they don't necessarily see the pictures as good as you would like them to. I do notice on your pictures, this item has crazing. And I don't know if it is purposeful crazing or if it is crazing from age. You'll have to kind of determine that. Purposeful, meaning they make it look crazed on purpose. Yeah, I'm going to say this is from age, just based on this picture here, because of that. So you want to put that it has crazing. You also, something that I do on these older items is I say normal wear for age. That kind of makes them go look and see, oh, what are they referring to? It makes them go look at those pictures. Now, the reason that that condition box is so important, where's my mouse? I'm going to say something important. I have to be back here. The reason it is so important is the ability to win on an item not as described case is heavily weighed on how you stated that condition. If you did not note something, and saying it in the description doesn't count. Description doesn't matter. It has to be up in that condition. It isn't item specific. It just has its own area when you're creating the listing. It has to be in that box and noted right underneath the title in order for eBay to truly back you up on a claim. So that's why I really stress putting it up there. Now, you want to wordsmith a little bit. You don't want to come right out and say, oh, it's got this crappy lines through it that, you know, looks horrible. I mean, you have to still be honest, but creative. And that's why I say, how do you do that? How do put it when you're creating the listing? Let me pull up. I know I'm not showing yet because I'm pulling something up. Let's see if we were going to create a listing. I'll pull one of mine up. Okay. I just pulled up one of my drafts. Let me go bigger here. So I've got my title. I've got all this condition. Now, yep, I did say condition. On many of these categories, it'll tell you that condition is not required, which I always put it in anyways. So here's a perfect example. I'm saying good condition, normal wear from age, but this is the box right here. This is the important box to put any issues with your item. Now, I said normal wear from age. This is actually one I haven't actually gone through and looked at yet. My lister did this, but she's pretty good noting if there's anything that needs to be said about the item. And I don't see anything, you know, but it does have like just some normal wear. You know, it's got a little smudge, a little this, a little that. So this will make the customer, that's not necessarily damage. It's just normal wear from age. So that's what I say on my description most of the time. Oh, okay, let me come back over here. So yeah, so that box, super important. And if you say excellent condition, make sure it's excellent condition. Like we have two sets of eyes. I have someone who writes up the listings for me, and then I'm the one who double checks the listing before they go live. And I catch things sometimes that she didn't know. And stuff happens. So yeah, that's how you can protect yourself. Okay. So that's what I would fix on this particular listing. And then the price, because I said we're going to talk about price, and there I squirreled off into something completely different. So when you guys are doing your pricing, I'm seeing so much of this lately. I'm going to come back here again. When it is a commodity item and there are thousands of them listed and there's a very specific price range, that's one thing. And you have to price a certain way for that item to sell. When you are selling things that are maybe not the only one out there, but the competition is very slim, it is one of those items that doesn't come around every day. It is, you know, more of a what we call long tail, like you need the right buyer to come along kind of thing. Be careful with looking at current solds even. Be careful of looking at current actives sometimes, because they may all be judging their price on the current sold. And what I'm seeing happening in the antiques and collectibles world is we are driving the value of things down. We sellers are doing that. And we have the power to get those prices raised up as well. The same thing that drives them down can drive them up. Get my hands working right. So this is why I am always an advocate of price it higher, even than your gut's kind of telling you to do. So let's go to the case of the biscuit jar. So we got vintage small biscuit. See, let me click over there. Because you gave it us the word small. Okay, so it's 5 3/4 inches. So it is small. Okay. All right. I don't know, what's the normal size of a biscuit jar? I mean, it looks like a biscuit jar. It's cute. But I thought it was bigger, actually, when I first looked at this. So I would say to you, go one of two ways on this. I mean, if you're like really anxious to get this sold and you don't have a lot into it, bump this down to $19.95 or $19.99. Because that extra $2, people see the 20 and then they go, oh. Or the other thing is you can go up. You can go $24.95 or $29.95 because it is cute, actually. It's really cute. And I think your title is good. I don't see anything wrong there. It just, I'd go up a little bit. The one I wanted to talk about, this is the one that made me really think about pricing. This right here, and I'm going to give you a couple things to put up into your title that are going to help you sell this. First of all, I want you guys to see when you go over $100, this is what your customer sees. They now can make payments, which is a really beautiful thing. But I looked up, and this Herbert Cohen is quite the guy. I'm going to stop sharing that for a second. I'm going to come over and we're actually, in this case, really not going to look at the solds. This is what I want you to pay attention to. Now, what I did find out, you want to use the word Herb and not Herbert. Or you can use Herb and Herbert, but you need to have Herb as a standalone name in there, because that seems to be what most people are putting in there. But look at the prices. Mr. Herb is being, now I know these are asking prices, totally get that. But what this tells me is this guy has value. And what I couldn't find was any other picture besides this one. And I'm kind of guessing maybe you saw that one and were a little discouraged from raising your price up a little bit. Yeah, they do have a range. So I hope I can put this into your head. Oh, and then we go into books. I hope I can put this into your head. If there is a range, of pricing on an item that you have, but yet you don't have the exact one, I am going to tell you, lean on the side of the higher pricing. Remember last week? Remember the piece of art? There was no other ones out there. The last one had sold at $600, and she raised it up to $750 and sold it in 1 hour. Okay? So these collectors are out there, and these collectors have money, and sometimes they perceive the desirability of something based on the price. They want to brag that they spent $500 on their Herb Cohen thingamabob. So think not like you would be searching to find it. If you're anything like me, you're looking for the best price. I get it. When I'm searching, I'm looking how I cannot spend money. But there is an entire demographic out there that loves to spend money. I mean, and that is such a hard concept to get if you are frugal. I get it. But think like that buyer when you're pricing your stuff. If it is an unusual, there's only a couple out there, because think about it. If those lower priced ones sell and now you have the only one, supply and demand, yours just went up, right? So in this instance, with this listing, bring it back here, I would first change your title, and we're going to add some words to your title. We're going to call it a mid-century herb. Let me go back to this. Yes. I'm seeing that they're using the word modern, because there's mid-century modern. I think we're okay saying yeah. So you can see the ones that have, and you can see, look at, these would say, hey, this stuff doesn't sell very high, right? But remember, this is a very, very short window of actual solds. eBay's not giving you all the information. They are not. No, no, no. So mid-century modern, Herbert Cohen, pottery, pitcher, and I would put the color on the end. You can even call it burgundy red. You can give it a little bit more oomph, because somebody may be searching burgundy. If they know this maker and they know this color, I think that's a burgundy. It's a burgundy, right? It's a burgundy. Yeah. So yeah, and then we're looking at the pictures. We got right, left, side, good, good, good. Kind of top, top, top. Yeah, we're missing the bottom. Oh, that bottom picture is your money. On a piece like this, that bottom picture is your money. And here's what I would say to do on this one. I would say raise this price up to $500. Raise your price up to $500 on this picture with best, okay, you got best offer in there. Pristine condition, not a chip or scratch to be found. Excellent. I love that. You did use that. So you got to use this when there's like something too. And let's go down here. And see, there's nothing, if your customer comes down to your description, in this case, there's nothing that's going to take them off of your listing. Thank goodness. I can't even tell you how much I hate this. I'm still looking for a way to get rid of that. I think eBay got rid of the way to get rid of it, but okay, we won't go there. So you have a lot of really great information here. I would probably break this up into some more shorter readable sentences. This is a lot of info to like take in on the eye. Okay. You know, I used to be a real advocate of putting all this stuff into your listing. I'm not anymore. I think just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. Because people pretty much know this stuff now. Yep, yep, yep. Plus, if you ever decide to do something different, you may have forgotten what you said in your description. So I just don't even put this stuff in my descriptions anymore. Okay. All right. But yeah, that's what I would do on this listing. But most important, fix the name, put the mid-century modern in there, and then raise that price. And then oxblood. Ooh, that's another groovy. That's another groovy word. Oxblood says money. Yes, thank you. Oxblood. I love it. Love it. Use it. Oxblood red. Yeah, that's a money word right there. That's a money word. You can totally use oxblood on that one. So, yeah. Okay. Good, good, good. You got some homework? Gonna fix some stuff up? Information dump. Oh, shipping is such the topic, such the topic. You know, I need to do like a whole show just on shipping. Maybe we'll do that next week. You guys like that? We will just spend the entire time talking about shipping. We can do that. Because I know shipping is what gets a lot of you guys flustered. So we're going to take questions over on the Niche to Profit Facebook group. I'll make a post over there about what are your shipping questions, and we'll get them answered next week. How's that? Okay, next we're going to look at Castle Rock Shop. Castle Rock Shop, and that is Patty. I think it was Patty maybe who said she couldn't be here. Patty, are you here? Maybe Patty's here. Patty, if you're here, say hello. Let me know if you are here. Yep, $500. Raise that puppy up to $500. Yep, yep, yep. I have like 14 things to ship because I ran auctions. But I am super happy that I took like 3 hours yesterday and totally cleaned up and reorganized my shipping area, which was becoming an absolute disaster. No, in this case, I would not do $499.99. And I'll tell you why. When you get over about the $300 mark, now your buyer is not the frugal buyer. Now your buyer is a different mindset on price, and the even number is actually more psychologically appealing. So $500 in that case is more appealing than $499.99. Go figure. That's why when you get over about the $300 mark, actually about $250, I think I do start at about $250 is I'll start using the even number at that point. Yep. Yep. It works. I don't know why it works. It works. Okay, now we are going to look at, and I don't think she's here. It is crazy psychology. I was waiting to see if Patty was here, but maybe not. All right, so Patty is our next volunteer. Let me share my screen. So Patty has 73 listings. Now, this is the difference between having a store and not, is when she shared her, I had to actually go search. She gave me her user ID. I had to go search for it. I had to go dig a little bit. It's much, much harder to send people to your listings. And also you don't have that nice laid out look. Like I'm just showing you the difference here. No store, store. And plus you can have categories over in your store, which is like what I talk about all the time. It's just nice to be able to send people over there. And then, so looks like Patty is in Canada. Okay. And I know there are some challenges selling from Canada into the US, especially when it comes to shipping and things. Although the shipping doesn't look too bad on these items, I must say. I'm hoping that that is calculated, and I don't know, anybody in Canada, Melissa, is that kind of how the shipping is from Canada to US? You guys have reasonable rates to ship to us down here? I'm kind of, we got that little lag between what I say and when I see an answer. So I'll wait and see if she answers over there. So let's take a look. 73, and I'm just going to go really fast all the way down the bus. Sorry, make you dizzy. Looks like we go back to May is when these started. Pictures, really good. Really nice pictures. Bright colored. So I'll just, like, some of these older listings that haven't sold, there's things you can do with your titles, such as Really think about the word you used first. Is somebody putting in bright colored purple, hand painted, carved, or are they looking for carved wooden fish necklace collectif? Is collectif the brand? Unbranded. So is collectif a word that is used in the jewelry world? I'm not familiar with that term. Collective? Collect. Somebody help me. I'm fumbling here. But yeah, it's a carved wood beaded necklace. So I would change this to carved wood. I'm not sure I would say wooden. I would just say carved wood fish necklace, beaded purple, and if this collective vintage is good words, then use those on the end. Price is fair. Price is very fair. So I think maybe just changing up those terms based on what somebody's going to put into the search engine. Hipster cute cat with glasses and bow tie, cushion over burlap with orange chevron. Is it a pillow? Let me see. Or is it just a pillow cover? Ah, see, I would use pillow cover as opposed to cushion cover. So I would put, I kind of like hipster cute cat. I'm okay with that. I'm not sure how many people are searching that word, but it does give it a little pop. Hipster cute cat. I might not say with glasses first because those first 5 words are so important. So I would put this part at the end and I would put pillow cover and then I would put burlap, orange chevron. I'd take out the with. Don't need that up in the title. Make sure you separate these 2 words here. Otherwise, the search engine just sees that as orange chevron. Orange chevron. They don't see 2 separate words there as orange and chevron. Okie dokie. So that kind of fixes that one up. Your pictures are good though. I like all your pictures. Watch the words like cute. Watch the words like if you're using ceramic and porcelain, now you're saying, I'm not really sure what this is. So pick one. Porcelain is usually a more refined, and I'm sure one of you guys over there knows the exact definition between porcelain and ceramic. But what's really important is the message you're conveying to your customer. So to me, porcelain means it is a fine, high gloss kind of a thing. Ceramic will tend to mean that, yeah, it's more coarse. It's not real refined. So, and I probably wouldn't even use the word ceramic in the title. I'd save that down for item specifics. And I would just call this a vintage cow creamer, hand painted Japan. That's what I would put there. And it would take out all that extra. Try not to get into this mode thinking that you have to fill in every space of the title for your listings, because I will tell you why. It's a math problem. Thinking like the computer, like the algorithm bot, they're seeing what the customer put into the search and they're trying to match that as close as possible. So it's a math game. It's a percentage. So while let's just say the customer put in ceramic cow creamer, right? So that would be 3 words out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 3 words out of 11, right? Now, if she had her title as vintage cow creamer, what did I say? Vintage cow creamer, hand painted Japan. Now you're 3 words out of 5, and I'm maybe off a little bit on that. But do you see the percentage game? Do you see that the percentage of words that match what the buyer put in to what your title is makes it way higher likelihood eBay's going to bump that up in the best match search. Okay, so that's why you don't want to stuff your titles with things that people aren't actually typing into search. That's super important. So just narrow down that title on that little guy. Come back. Florence Ceramic Aboriginal Art MCM Ashtray Australia Rare Original Art Vintage. So the first thing I'm going to go do is see how rare this is. So it's Florence Ashtray. That's what I'm going to put in, which is probably what your customer is going to put in. And there's only one. So we've got Vintage Australian Florence Souvenir Noosa heads, painted Aboriginal. Okay, for 16 with 20 shipping. Let's see how many are available. Okay, now we're getting to where it's not so rare. I don't like to use the word rare. Here's why. If something is truly rare, the person who's going to pay a lot of money for it already knows it's rare. If the item is not so rare, it just makes you look like you're stuffing some words in the title. Okay, it's gotten overused. So trust me, if you have a rare item, you don't need to tell the good buyer that's got the potential for buying it. They know. They know. So let's see. 34, 50. I just heard my little Ring camera come off. You guys want to see baby tortoise? He's probably out eating right now. Tortoise break, tortoise break. I'll let that come up. Let's see, or is my camera? Oh yeah. Okay, this is hilarious, guys. You're gonna love this. She's actually playing with the camera right now. She's climbing up on the block and she is getting into trouble, playing with the camera. I have it taped to the wall now because she knocks it over. But there she is. It's her little self, just being a little pistol. She's trying to lift herself up right now. She's climbing. It's kind of a hike to get up there. She's quite the little acrobat. Now I'm going to be having to keep a little eye on her. Make sure she doesn't flip herself over, which she does on occasion. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. I love my tortoises. Okay, so here's kind of the results we found on that. So it doesn't have a high sell-through either. Is one of the things. So I'm thinking that is your listing, right? Yeah, there's your listing, $28.99, and you're sponsored. Probably don't need to do the sponsored on an item like this either because there's not enough listings there for it to come off of the first page. I try to save my sponsor, my promoted listing money for items that could get buried on further pages. So we'll come back over here. So Florence, again, the ceramic, this is the cool thing about the item specifics. If you leave ceramic out of the title and you put it in your item specifics, the search engine will still search if somebody puts that term in. So it's a turtle selfie. Yeah, she was getting, okay, she got down now. So be careful of using words in your title that can detract from value. Ceramic can go either way. If ceramic can be a cheaper item. So in this case, the money words in this are probably Florence, Aboriginal, Art, MCM. I would probably spell out mid-century. Not everybody uses the acronym. Ashtray, Australia. Take out the rest of this. And if you're going to do $28.99, you might as well do $29.99. Okay. Port Marion Harvest Blue, Quiche Blonde Dish, unused, 1985, Rare Blue. See, you're using rare in a lot of your titles. Be careful of that. I'm a catacorn, copy. So This is another one of those titles that's kind of stuffed. So I'm a catacorn is important. I don't think that many people are searching the actual term like coffee, tea, hot cocoa, all of those. Leave that off of there. Put it in the description, say great for coffee, tea, hot mug. What they're looking for, they're either looking for a cat mug, and I would put cat as its own word. I'm a catacorn cat mug is what I would put in this title. And then I would put, I wouldn't put the buy, I would just put Strawberry Street. That's it. Take out everything else. Everything else. And is it an oversized mug? It looks, maybe it's just deceiving me. Oh, cute. Okay, we got the bottom. I can't really see that bottom though. Be careful if you're going to take a picture of the bottom, take it straight on. But what I'm looking to see, I never like to use a picture with a ruler. I don't use it at all. And I don't want to offend anybody, but I think it makes the item look cheaper to use something like this. I have never done it in 22 years. I have never put a measuring device in with my items. This would be the gallery picture for me, is like the first one here. Okay. That could be just, I don't know, if you shop and you like to see that, let me know in the comments. I would love to know if that's me or if that's like, to me, it's distracting because my brain still can't say how big it is, even if you put a ruler there. Can't. This mug may have been pre-owned, but it's in pristine condition. I'm a catacorn design, and but from back, pale pink. Yeah, divide this out. Give me some bite size, maybe not bullets, because you don't. Again, that's one of those things. Do bullets add or detract from the search? I don't use the actual bullet mark anymore. I just divide out the sentences and I make them short, to the point. People want to skim. They want to see the information. They want, like, oh, it'll hold 16 ounce. This is a big mug if it holds 16 ounce. An average coffee mug holds 12 ounces. So another good thing to put in this title is oversized. Oversized mugs. So people search for oversized mugs. Okay. So let's see. She did do a good job with pictures. Yes, absolutely. I do put measurement photos in. Okay. I do like to see a ruler alongside of items, just like earlier when you thought the biscuit container was larger. Yeah, if you're going to do it in your later pictures, not in the first pictures, especially not in the gallery picture then. Yep. Yeah. Just don't put it, and don't put it in every picture. Like, have a picture that has that. Okay. We got new in package, Johnny Lightning. Again, I think your important money words here are Johnny Lightning Monopoly. I feel like there's something missing from this. Who makes this? It's a bonus game token. Ah. Die cast. Want to see the back? Oh, it's made by Johnny Lightning. I was starting to think that maybe it was made by Hot Wheels or something. You see how this isn't blowing up? So this is one of those pictures that's not big enough to blow up. So a lot of people may not even know that this was the year 2000. So that shouldn't be your lead title words. Your lead title words here are Johnny Lightning, Monopoly. I would probably say die cast, bonus token. Look. Playing mantis. I'm trying to figure out where the playing mantis comes in here. I don't see that. Let me look at the description. Oh, it's made by Playing Mantis. So I would probably put Playing Mantis down in your item specifics. So you've got the brand is Johnny Lightning. What do others do? Because this is going to be one that's going to show up. They're going to send other people to this listing. So there's other, yeah, die cast is an important word. Johnny Lightning, Johnny Lightning. Okay, what is your price at? $7.99. So that's good. I think I would just put Johnny Lightning, Monopoly, die cast. Those are your money words. Those are the first words. And then the other stuff you can put later in the title. And you don't need to put NIP because number one, they can see that. And number two, it's right below the title saying new. Yep. Yeah, so Johnny Lightning, this has got like dual brands because Johnny Lightning is probably what people think the brand is. And then Playing Mantis is probably the actual brand, but that may not be the one that people are searching for. So that's a little trickier. Okay, so what kind of Disney Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington Black with Gold. See how mug is way at the end? So I would add mug right here between Christmas and Jack. So I'd say Disney Nightmare Before Christmas mug, and then go into Jack Skellington Black. And if you do W/gold, the search engine sees it as gold. It doesn't see the word gold. And I would probably leave that for item specifics and just call it a black mug because the gold is more of an accent. Aw, Christmas kissing my salt and pepper shakers. Okay, that's good. Cute with packages, holiday table. I would take all that off. Are they vintage? If they're vintage, I would say vintage. Those are super cute. Look at those. Oh, okay. Here's my perfect example of what I was saying earlier. So that looks like a chip. And again, I would get these pictures blown up because I want to be able to zoom. Oh, there we go. And still, see how it's not very big and it's blurry. So if there is a point of damage, like, okay, now I can see it's on the ears. So this item is not necessarily good used condition. This item has some damage. So let's see what you put down in the description. There is a very small flea bite on one of the girl mice ears and also a small ding on the right hip area behind the foot. Not right. That right there needs to be up here. I need to see that as the buyer and know what I'm getting into. Because what if I only look at the first couple of pictures and go, yep, I want them, and I missed that. Now I get the item, I see the damage, and I go, oh, wait a minute, I don't want these with damage. I'm going to do an item not as described. Well, not me personally. I don't return anything on eBay. But somebody is going to do item not as described. And you're going to say, but I did describe it. I had pictures and it was down in the description. And eBay's going to say, nope, you did not have it up in the condition area. We can't back you up. Now, if you have it up in the condition area, boom, now eBay can back you up. Now you've got your platform to stand on and say, look it, I told them. I showed pictures. All good. You need to side with me. So, but I still didn't find out if they were vintage after all that. 70s, possibly left in Japan. Yeah, so they're vintage. So vintage Christmas kissing mice, salt and pepper shakers. Take out the rest, add the condition. I'd even say raise that price a little bit. Not giving yourself to take much of an offer at $7.99. And that's, if you're just starting out listing things in a lower price point, that is fine. Get your feet wet, make some mistakes, learn the shipping, learn all this stuff without stuff that you will cry if you have to take a return or it gets broken. I know that can just be gut-wrenching sometimes. But as you need to make more money, you have to look at going one of two directions. You either need to sell a lot more stuff, which means you have to list a lot more stuff, or you need to get stuff with higher margins in it. And I'm actually at a point of trying to do a mix of both. That's why you'll hear me say when I'm out and doing the thrift with me, Videos, it's gotta be $20. A $20 plus item, and with my kind of thing that I've got in my brain about how much I'll pay for them. Again, it depends what it is, but I like to look for things that are, I can buy it for 5 or under and flip it for 20 and over. That's my rule of thumb. But I've developed that through the years of running my store, knowing what price points things will sell at, even if I have to discount them and clearance them. And starting out, you're not going to have that knowledge base yet. And some of you are really hard on yourselves. Some of you, like, you want all of that information in your brain, like right now. And it just takes time. It just takes time and consistency. And if you really want to make this into something that makes you an income, give yourself 6 months. I think that's about what it took my mom, when she got going. And I use my mom as an example because mom was very much one of those people who said, I am not tech savvy. I can't do this. I'm never going to be able to make a living doing this. Now, I mean, she doesn't make her whole living on it, but she was able to quit the job that was her living by doing this. And she still supplements her income, not on eBay. She's doing Etsy because she's a crocheter. And she does her, groovy little fidget sleeves. I don't know, Mom, you're doing the little turtles. Are those turtles listed on your Etsy store? I think my mom's over in the chat. I put a link to my mom's Etsy store in my descriptions. So if anybody wants to go do a little Christmas shopping for some personalized, handmade, awesome gifts, I'm going to give a little plug for my mom's Etsy store. I'm going to keep her busy crocheting like a fiend. I think my chat's a little laggy. It's like, I don't see anything, don't see anything. All of a sudden, all these things come through. There she is. Yeah, she went into eBay with lots of negativity. That's my mom, guys. She went into eBay with lots of negativity. Yep, and made it work. Made it work. Yeah, go check out the turtles. They're super cute. I can't imagine where she got inspired to make turtles. So, although I see low price points here, I also know that Patty's a new seller. So I'm okay with that. I'm not going to chastise you guys for selling stuff at a lower price point to get going. But I am going to tell you at some point, start looking at your time spent and how you value your time and how much money you need to be making. All right. So Strawberry Shortcake, 1980 juice glass, vintage. That's a good title. That's a good title. I don't tend to put the EUC on there because you've got your condition is going to be right as they click over. That's a good picture too. Very good picture there. Putting the white into the glass. You got your pictures going on. I'm very, very pleased with how you've got. That's the hardest thing sometimes for new sellers to get is good pictures. So yeah, I actually teaching mom virtually through Skype is what got me going teaching others. So you can thank mom for all of this because she's the one who got me spreading this out to everybody else. All right, let's see. Anything else that just really kind of, oh, that's a really good picture. Look at that. That's a stunning picture. Look at that. I almost think this guy might be priced too cheap. Cat on pillow, tassels, pin, brooch. Now, this is interesting because sometimes not everything is a strict rule. But in this case, I would use both words, pin and brooch, because there's people shop both ways. They call it, it's the same thing, but they call it the two different names. So I'm okay with that. And it's Avon. See, I didn't even get that it was Avon until the very end. So that's perfect. You're not hiding the fact that it's Avon. You're just not putting the Avon name right up front, which a lot of people that just like, it's a block. Oh, it's Avon. Somebody's going to fall in love with that picture because it's just a cool looking cat pin. Yeah. She is in, so let me look. I think it shows it to me in US dollars though, doesn't it? Because I am on ebay.com. So I'm seeing US dollars. If I was in ebay.ca, then I would see the Australian dollars and it would actually tell me I was seeing Australian dollars. Oh, look at that. It's marvelous. Marvelous. I love that pen. Pin. Pin. It came out sounding like pen. All right. Ray done. See, medium blue stripe. Is medium blue stripe what Ray Dunn uses in their description? Otherwise, I'd put Ray Dunn mug and take out the coffee, tea, and cup. Again, I'm kind of sounding like a broken record now, but watch all those extra stuffed words in the title. Don't need them. Don't need them. You also don't need to use the capitals. I know some sellers like to make their item like stand out doing that. It's not necessary and can work against you. It is something that I see new sellers use a lot, and as an experienced buyer, I tend to veer away from those titles. All right, you're doing good though. You're getting consistent listings up. I'm seeing like every couple days, every couple of days, getting listings up. Try not to take big gaps. Even if you can only get one listing up in a day, consistency is really, really key. But yeah, good job. Good job. Just take those things that I've told you and you can kind of now go through your titles and find those areas where you've put too many words in the title or used words that aren't necessary. Switch around some words. So your money words, I call them the money words. First 5 words are your money words. You want those as close to what someone would be searching for as possible. Ooh, that's pretty. You got some nice stuff. So Disney Store exclusive coffee mug. I wouldn't say that first. I'd say Disney Mickey Mouse I don't even like to say coffee mug. You can say coffee mug. It's personal preference. Well, let's go look. Let's see how many people are using just mug versus coffee mug. So let's say Disney. Why am my eye always capital? Mickey Mouse. I'll even say pants. Ah, okay, here, look. See all this down underneath here? This is eBay telling me what people are searching for in the order of the words they're putting in based on what I did. So, let's see if I put mug. See, mug still comes up as a word. So Disney Mickey Mouse coffee mug is in there. So in this case, it's still perfectly fine to use. And then I'm going to say pants. Look at that. 179. And then we go over here. And you've got 27 sold. So you guys know that that kind of is, you know how Amazon does a rank? Well, eBay, you can kind of see if something's popular and selling. 27 sold in the last 90 days. And there's 179 listed. So that kind of gives you a rough idea of the sell-through of this item. If the solds were a lot higher, you know it was a hotter item. So that's something to keep in mind too. Okay, boom. What questions do you guys have for me now that I can kind of pay attention more to the chat? And if you asked something and I didn't see it, ask it again, because now I'm paying attention. Now I'm paying attention. And let me just tell you, I know I left you with a cliffhanger yesterday in my community sale shopping. Believe me when I tell you, part 2 is mind-blowing. My mind is blown, and I'm already still knowing that I have to do a haul video just from this one sale that I went to. Just one. I had to go to the bank and go pull money out to make it happen. I also got, I'll show it to you. I can't show it up here. I got this tall clock, like tall. It is solid oak with these kind of a mid-century kind of swirly cutout with shelves, and the clock doesn't work, but it was $5. And I brought that home, and it's down in my eBay room where it will wait until I can figure out how to fix a clock because it's awesome. Okay. You get part 2 tomorrow. Part 2 is coming tomorrow. Yes, 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 yes. I promise it'll be tomorrow. All right, let's see. What do you do with white objects for the background? So I do take my white or clear objects on a black background, but items that I'm going to be listing over on cherish.com. Oh, by the way, Cherish is CHAIRISH.com. Like a chair, like furniture. Think furniture. Cherish. If you go to an alternative spelling, I found out it's a bad thing. Oops. So yes, chairish.com. But they require everything to be on a white background for the first, shouldn't say everything. I can do the pictures on the black background for everything but the first picture. The first picture must be on white, even if it's a white item, because of they fix that up and make it pretty. So I take everything, at least one picture on the white, and then I will use black. So the big thing is clearly defining the item for the search engine. But that was a good question. What is the best Christmas items to look for to resale? That is such an open question, but it has to do with your niche. What do you normally sell 300 days of the year other than Christmas time selling? What do you normally sell? Now, what is that same customer going to be looking for in the Christmas season? So if you normally sell vintage toys, you're probably going to want to look for vintage Christmas toys, vintage Christmas decorations, that kind of thing. If you normally sell jewelry, you're going to want to look for Christmas related jewelry. If you normally sell the stuff like I sell, the home decor, pottery, glass, antiques, collectibles, I start looking for vintage antiques and collectibles. So it really, clothing sellers, you're going to start looking for sweaters and things that people wear in the winter or can give as gifts. So think gift items that your ideal customer would give. That's what people will be looking for. Let me see. Did you buy the house along with the items? No. Heavens no. Hey, the day I buy a house is the day I'm going to be back living without neighbors right next door. I'm having some neighbor problems right now. Actually the house next door to me is for sale. Actually, it's sold. It's in contract according to the info. And I think what they did, I think the parents moved out and left the teens and college age kids to have frat parties every night. And it is rap music and the smell of loco weed every night. So I can't go out in my backyard. It's wearing on me. Okay, so is it better to make a lot of listings in one day and then take a couple days off, or list a couple things each day? Each day. Absolutely 100% consistency is key with these search engines. I will tell you, and it's not just eBay. It is no matter where you list items, put up content, if you do social media blogging or even your Facebook pages and stuff, consistency, consistency, consistency is the key. They want to see activity, activity, activity. That's why I do a video every single day for YouTube. That gets YouTube to put my videos up over somebody who maybe only does a video a week or every 2 weeks. So the same thing with your eBay listings is if you really want to make this build, even if it's one listing a day, that consistency is definitely going to pay off. If you can't list every day, and honestly, I'm not really sure of a circumstance where you guys couldn't make your drafts all on whatever that day is that you do them. You can make the drafts all on one day and then just go into your mobile app and launch a draft each evening before you go to bed. You know, that's what, 5 minutes or less. So you can give 5 minutes or less to your business. Where's the best place to buy packing peanuts? That's going to depend on where you live. So I have a local resource. There are local places almost everywhere that may not be advertised out there everywhere, but dig a little. You can find them. If you know somebody else in your area that is a reseller, ask them, where do you get your peanuts? If you have a UPS store, lots of the pick and pack places will sell you their bulk bags of peanuts. That's how I buy. I want to say they're 20 cubic foot bags of peanuts. They're 17 or 20. They're huge. You couldn't ship them. It's not like I can tell if I give you my source and you are, 2 states over, it isn't going to pay for you to buy from my source. If you're in Las Vegas area, go to Miller Supply, ask for Ray, and tell him Danny sent you, because he will give you prices that he does not advertise on his website. I assure you. If you're in the Midwest, there's Bubblefast, bubblefast.com. They even have a pack of different sizes of poly bags. If you're not sure what size you're going to end up using, it's called the Danny Pack. So you can go get bags. They are eBay sellers. They are a family-owned business and super nice people. And you can use the code Danny, DANNI, and it'll give you 10% off at your checkout. Other than that, there's Uline. There's different places. What I don't recommend is going to like Target or Walmart and buying them in little bags, and that's not going to be cost effective. You really need to find a source to buy them in bulk if you're going to use a lot of peanuts. Okie dokie. And boxes and all that good stuff. I have 114 items started a month ago, sold 15, all low price, Goodwill sourced. I want to do a sale to create sales for fast income. Good idea, then start over? I don't think so. So if you have only started a month ago, don't be so antsy to run a sale yet. I would say give yourself 3 months before you run that sale and put your efforts into listing versus shipping things that you sold at a discount, because you only have so much time. And the more listings you get up, the more you're going to sell, the busier you're going to be. And then I like to just make a category in the store to run sales from. So then you can take those oldest listings, put those on sale, while your newer listings still come in as your fresh inventory without being discounted. That's my preferred method, because buyers will learn, hey, she's just going to discount everything, if I just wait and don't buy. Don't let them learn that. Let them see like, oh, if I want this, I better buy it, because it might not be here if I wait for it to go on sale. What did you just say about item that there are a lot of the items being offered? I mean, as far as price design creations, was I talking about pricing? Refresh my memory. Is it okay to promote items when there are watchers? You can promote items anytime. If you're gonna do promoted listings and you do things like I sell, not the commodity items, the things that pretty much if you have the right titles and pictures and things are going to get seen, do 1 or 2%. Don't do the recommended trending rates. Remember, eBay's in business to make money for eBay. If you go with their recommendations, who do you think is going to benefit the most from that? You don't need to do that. Uh-oh, I just lost where I was in my chat. I'm trying to catch up. There we go. Hello, my 89145 neighbors. Hey, you guys, you can get your peanuts from Miller Supply. Yep. Schedule it. I do use List Perfectly. If you guys, there's actually a code that I put down in my description that will give you a discount on List Perfectly for your first month to try it. So be sure that you use that code. Yep. I wouldn't be cross-posting if I didn't have List Perfectly. There's no way. I wouldn't have time. I can do it with that. Yeah, you know, the packing peanuts do take up space. They do that. They for sure do that. You know, they have those things that you can hang from, I don't know where your shipping area is. You can hang it from a ceiling. You put the packing peanuts up in there and it has a little tube that just, so if space is an issue, you might want to consider that. The scheduling tools in the price portion helps too, so we can schedule. You can schedule, but there is a cost to schedule. So you're going to pay 10 cents. So you have to just remember, those can add up if you're scheduling a lot. But if you can go in and just make your drafts live, you'll be in good shape. I did a whole video on shipping. Actually, I've done several videos on shipping art with a frame and without a frame. Yep. If you buy off of eBay and if it's priced at $8 shipping cost, 15, so pay 23. I am not sure what you're asking, Lorraine. That's confusing me a little bit. I know I'm like way behind it. Oh, it just jumped on me. Okay, I'm gonna work my way backwards because the chat just keeps jumping to where. So if I missed your question, ask it again. Ask again. Because you guys are talking a lot over there. It was about promoting those items. So, so if it's an item where you're competing with a lot of sellers on the same type of item, you know, kind of like the die-cast car that we saw, then the promoted listings really make sense, because then it's going to promote and show your listing when there's a lot of them. That can be the make it or break it. But just remember, you're going to pay an extra % on your final value fee to eBay. Got to remember that. Okay. Thank you for the thumbs up, everyone. YouTube really likes those. I appreciate them. Do you keep an inventory of your purchases and sales for tax purposes? Oh, yes. I keep everything. My routine as what I do is I go out, I shop, I bring the stuff in. The very first thing I do, it gets logged into a spreadsheet with where I purchased it, on what date. This is where I do what I paid for it. This is where I create my titles. This is where I do my research. So I sit there and put, you know, my title, the price I'm going to ask for it, and then it goes to the girl who writes up the listings for me. And the reason I use somebody to list for me is because there's only one of me. And believe it or not, these YouTube videos are a full-time job. It takes anywhere from, depending on how much I add into the video, anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours to edit a video, get it rendered and uploaded and create the thumbnail And that doesn't even count the time to go and actually, you know, go do the video creation. So that is a goodly portion of my day. So that time I'm spending doing that, I've got somebody creating listings. So she kind of is my clone, so to speak. So I can still say that the income I make off eBay, I'm doing by myself, basically. I don't have like, you know, 6 people working for me. I just got the one. I found that lister by running an ad from my Facebook business page. So create a Facebook business page for your business, and then you can post a job listing. Yep. All she does is write up the listings based on the spreadsheet with the titles and the prices. So she basically copies and pastes the title, describes it, fills out all the item specific, measures, weighs, and puts it into a draft. That's it. She gets paid an average of $1 to $1.50 a listing to do that, depending on how extensive the listing is. I do give her bonuses. Our agreement is $1 a listing, but I pay her more than that because her work is really good. And then I also pay her $1 an item for pictures. But again, I pad that because her pictures are really good. So, but that's how I hire at. I hire at that $1 for the listing and $1 for the pictures. And then if they're really good, I fluff that. Yeah. Yeah, Google Sheets is awesome. And then when the item sells, I can go over to that very same sheet, because we were talking about the accounting. I go over to that very same sheet, and I have columns for date sold, total collected, which is different, you know, than your listed price or the sale price. So total collected, then I break out the eBay fee, the PayPal fee, which I don't have to do anymore, the sales tax, what the actual shipping cost me, and then I have the formula so it shows me my net profit on each item. And then I also make a line with totals so I know when I have reached like the break even point or into the profit margin on that shopping trip. Because then that tells me all the rest of it is gravy and I have a lot more flexibility in accepting offers. Can reselling books be a profitable niche? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm going to tell you, if you are going to sell books, you need to be on Amazon selling books too. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. Amazon it's still the book place. It is still the book place. And you can do it merchant fulfilled. You don't have to send them into fulfillment by Amazon. You can just do it yourself. Is it just as profitable if you only auction on YouTube? So I do YouTube sales that have kind of become a product of building up a large base of viewers. I have almost 14,000 subscribers. And we have about 200 to 300 people show up for live. Like right now, there's 278 people watching. And of those 278 or 300 people, only a very small percentage are going to actually be your buyers. So the first thing you have to do if you're going to sell on YouTube auctions is you have to build up your base. Like this is social media. With any social media, you have to build up your base. Thank you, Liz. Bubble Fast brand, 14 cubic foot, pink, anti-static, packing peanuts, popcorn. Yeah, don't go to Amazon. Don't go to Amazon to get the packing peanuts from Bubble Fast brand. Go to Bubble Fast. Just go directly to Bubble Fast. Although go to Bubble Fast. Get the discount. Use Danny. Get 10% off. Build your bubble bucks. They have a reward program too. So every time you buy, a little bit goes back into your account, and then that accumulates, and you can use that for more discount. I would never count on my YouTube sales for consistent income, because I don't know, you guys could all stop buying at the next one. I don't have enough track record of that to say, yeah, this is going to be, whereas eBay's got a 25-year track record of being there. For 22 years, eBay's been there. eBay is a millions of buyer base audience. So eBay's built that audience, and I'm just taking advantage of it by listing there. So how do you build acquisition fees, or do you use actual expenses like mileage, etc.? How do you build acquisition fees? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, like when I do my taxes, I don't keep really good track of my mileage. Here's the thing. Every time I get gas, I write my odometer reading on my receipt. So I have a whole stack of receipts, and I basically know that 99% of the time I leave this house, it's business related. So if I ever got audited, I could create, my mileage log. I know you probably should just have one. I'm really bad. There's apps. I get it. I know I'm just really horrible at it, but I do have the data that I could go back and do that. And I do know my mileage starting at the year, ending at the year, and I take a percentage of my mileage because I know basically how much I've done my business. I have a really good accountant, not accountant. What do you call the person? Tax preparer? I guess she's an accountant, right? The lady who does my taxes. She's really good. I highly recommend her. I think she's based out of California, though. But she does my Nevada taxes too. Yeah, IRS mileage rates. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're better than if you kept track of your own expenses. They really are. Yep. I looked at Bubble Fast. My local Office Depot sells 5 cubic foot for $13.77. Easier to store, so they are slightly less than Bubble Fast. Yeah, it's gonna depend where you are. Bubble Fast has to ship, so that does figure into it. But boy, 5 cubic feet for $13.77 is still a lot to spend on peanuts. So you may look into getting a larger bag for a lower price per cubic foot and repackaging them to store them easier. Yeah. Costco up here in Canada have good prices, and we collect the 2% on them too. Yeah, what's the 2%? I'm curious about that too. What is this 2% you speak of? Okay, my little tortie has gone into her den for the day. So the nice thing about tortoises is they do go hide out like for most of the day and stay out of trouble. Oh, executive membership gives you 2% cash back once a year. Nice. How do you separate your nonprofit $9.90 online sales and Schedule C business? So each business that you have, if you have more than one, in my case, I have a nonprofit and I have my regular selling business. Those are 2 separate sets of books. They don't run together. I don't know. This is our first year doing the nonprofit. Now, the nonprofit it stands on its own. I'm not even sure that gets filed under my personal, like I don't get any income from the nonprofit. So that doesn't get included in my personal income tax filing. It gets its own filing. The IRS has, I guess it is the 990 form that's done each year. Like I said, we're just getting started. We're just hiring our attorney, by the way. So as a nonprofit 501c3, we are filing for our 501c3 status. The fundraising I've done through the sales to date have provided the funds to retain the attorney who's going to finish our paperwork and get us filed. So cross fingers, say a prayer. It's what? It's October, November. I am hoping that by January, we will have our 501c3. 120 gallons of peanuts for $45. Is that a bad price? I don't know. I don't know how many cubic feet are in 120 gallons. Does anybody know how to do that math? I don't know. What did Sun Country ask? Do you think Native American pottery will trend up within the next year? I want them to stay low. I collect. Yeah, there's no, some of the trends in antiques and collectibles have no rhyme or reason to how they start. It is an Instagrammer like gets everybody doing something, or there's the Pinterest moms are going over and doing something. All of a sudden, it kind of like it takes on. That's how social media works. It's like shoom, it's like wildfire. So stay kind of in touch with your genre of stuff. Stay in the loop on what people are talking about, what seems to be taking off. You can get in the early edges of something because it's your niche. This is why niche is awesome, because I know what's happening in the glass world. I know what's happening in like the mid-century, and like I'm tuned into that. I have know what's happening in comic books and die-cast cars and ephemera, and like, because that's not my thing. My niche is where I keep my focus so I can be on top of those trends and serve those customers when something takes off. So that's really the whole idea behind niche. Amazon is making changes to their third-party seller requirements, so it may not be a good idea for new sellers to go there. Probably requiring business insurance for all sellers soon for one. Yeah, I've seen that. Again, we'll have to see what comes of that. I have insurance. Business insurance is cheap. And that's the other thing. If everybody has to go get business insurance, the insurance companies are going to compete for that business. The rates will be low. I never want to take the negative of something to cause me not to go forward and pursuing and figuring out how I can get around the obstacles. Like, if you really want to do something and make a business happen, you can conquer any obstacle that's put in your way. So if Amazon does that, they do that. And it's a level playing field for all sellers, and everybody's got to figure out around that. And if it's coming to Amazon, I assure you it's coming to eBay and Etsy and Poshmark and Mercari and everywhere else, because that's just how this business works. Like sales tax, remember? Like sales tax. Now everybody wants to like do the sales tax thing and file it. But you know what? Buyers have gotten okay with it. They now understand it. So I use Google Sheets. How do you take good pictures of clear glass? Good lighting, not too much glare. And I do a lot of post edit on those photos. So the clear glass on a flat matte black, so that it absorbs the light. It doesn't bounce it back. And then I really use your contrast and your brightness to make the glass pop. Okay, so Lorraine, I see your question, but you're asking it the same way again, and I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. So you look on eBay for an item, it's $8, but the shipping for the item is $15. So you must, for 8 plus 15. So yeah, that would be the total cost, is the $8 of the item and then the 15 for the shipping. Yes. Yes. And if you're just a buyer and not a seller, just keep in mind your seller has to pay fees on that shipping. They have to pay fees on the sales tax. They have to pay fees on all of it. It's fee city. Yeah. And that's why no one likes to mail large items, because the shipping adds on to the price for the customer. Depends. Large items are okay if the value warrants paying that price. I'm shipping out 3 pieces of art today that I sold on Cherish, and they paid a goodly amount of shipping to get those pieces because they're good pieces. Yeah, people will pay. People will pay. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let me know in the comments if you like this new format, going through other sellers' listings. I am planning on continuing this over on the Niche to Profit Facebook group. I've kind of got a sign-up list for sellers who are willing to have their stores or their listings kind of analyzed. And if it's helpful, I would love to keep doing that. And then I will make separate haul videos so you can still see the haul that I get that I used to do on the show. That sound good? You are so welcome, you guys. I appreciate you more than you know. This brightens my Monday to just come in here and just hang out and talk with you guys. Love the store reviews. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love doing them. Nothing makes me happier than to be able to look at a few listings that just need a little tweak here and there, and you do that homework, and then boom, you let me know you sold it. And I mean, that's a rush for me. I love it so much. And it happens all the time. Happens all the time. All right, you guys. Go. Oh, one more quick thing. In the community tab on my channel, I have asked a question that is very important. You all need a name. My followers need a name. I used to have the appsters, but I don't use the Danny app thing anymore because it was confusing. So we need to come up with what you guys are called. So we kind of have a dialogue going in the community section in a post. And once that's all kind of laid out, I'm going to put the top choices in a poll, and you guys are going to get to decide what you want to be called so that you have a name. All right, guys. With that, go be profitable and make it fun. And we will see you. Hey, that part 2 is coming tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a good Monday.